Arun, good evening. It's a pleasure and thank you very much for giving us time. My members have joined and we can start if it's okay with you.
Yeah, I'm fine, ma'am. I'm free only. I'm fine. We can start. Yeah.
Dr. Arun, it's a pleasure to have you with us for the Sportscom Managing Committee meeting. We are delighted. I will just take 2 minutes to introduce Dr. Arun. Dr. Arun is Secretary Sports and Youth Affairs in Union Territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. I was very, very heartened and surprised that you are a doctor MBBS and then you have come and taken this position. He holds an MBBS and MD and brings a strong administrative and development background to public service. He began his career in Mizoram and he served in key roles such as subdivisional officer, civilian, and also in other positions. He later led impactful initiatives as district collector in Puducherry. Since March 2023, Dr. Arun has been serving in the Union Territories of Dadar and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu, where he holds multiple senior portfolios, including Chief Electoral Officer, Finance Secretary, and Secretary for Youth Affairs and Sports, Education, School, Higher and Technical, Planning and Statistics, Power and Personnel and Administrative Reforms. So we are delighted you have given us time and all the members have joined. We would like to hear from you what what you are doing in over there in this area and how we can collaborate and add to the work which you are doing in uh, these areas, please.
Uh, yeah, sure, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for the, it's audible, I guess. It's
Yes,
audible?
please. Yes, please. Yes, please. We
Yeah,
can
yeah,
see
yeah.
you also.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you, ma'am. And respected dignitaries of the managing committee of the Sportscom. We have heard so much about the Sportscom. I'm very happy that I'm sharing a platform along with very senior officials of Sportscom. My heartfelt congratulations to the president, senior vice president, treasurer, managing director, directors, and other members. So first and foremost, thank you for the. It's a great opportunity for us to that though UT of Dadra Nagar Haveli Daman Diu is very small, you have invited us. Thank you for that. As sports is one sector which uh, government of India focuses so much. Of course, health, education, others are there, but in recent years, the focus on sport development has increased tremendously, especially with the Kelo India, games and Kelo India Center of Excellence in almost most of the districts of the country. It has taken a different level, and in fact, recently even Honorable Union Minister for Sports has launched the Fit India movement through cycle. So these are some of the initiatives. Sports traditionally, if you see, sports is always part of our culture. Times immemorial, there were an era where between the kingdoms there used to be a sports. The kingdom used to instead of war there used to be a sports. Whoever wins they will get better major share in the kingdoms. They'll get a that was the amount of traditionally we have been giving a lot of importance to the sports. India and Indian culture has been part of it. If you want to include yoga and in South India there is Malyuddham and other kind of things. These are part of our tradition, part of our culture. Sports, maintaining fitness, these are all part of our culture. But somehow from last 70, 80 years, immediately after independence, maybe because of our political social conditions, people were poor, they might finding it difficult to invest their time, money, energy into sports. And normally the middle class mentality is to focus on their studies and other things. So somehow the focus had come down. But very recently, from last 5-10 years we are observing, the fitness has taken a major, major seat in everyone's life. I don't think there was no any time there was an era where where now the focus is more on nutrition, dieting, keto diet, all these kind. So sports is has taken a major has become priority for all of us, not just for government but also for the general public. In this context, a lot of other Kelo India games and others were there. We started a small initiative called Beach Games. The concept is very simple. Beach Games is a very new concept. In fact, in fact, the World Beach Games itself came in 2008. Asian Beach Games started only in 2012. Even Mediterranean Beach Games is 2020. So it's very recent concept. So we thought we thought let us come out with our own initiative called uh, called Beach Games, and we had a very pristine blue flag beach at Diu. So we started our first beach games at Diu in the year 2024. So it was a grand success. I think more than 1,700 participants were there. 8 different streams were there: Malakam, boxing, sea swimming, beach soccer. So these were all there. So based on the success, in fact, it was even mentioned in Honorable Prime Minister's Man Ki Baat also. And based on that, Government of India has adopted our concept of beach games, and they initiated Kelo India Beach Games in the year 2025. So technically speaking, we have conducted two beach games, and one is by our own initiative, by our own funds. Of course, some CSR partners were there like Torrent, Belosa, Reliance Belosa, and one more was there, like Polycab. So these were the major sponsors for that, and we were able to do it in a very grand success. Honorable Sports Minister was there, Usamai Anurag Thakur sir was there. So he attended along with other LGs and our Honorable Administrator. So based on that success, Government of India wanted again to do at DU itself, and we did the first Kelo India Beach Games in 2025. So now, uh, in fact, you would be aware of the Kelo India Games. Normally, the venue changes from one place to other. Like Kelo India Youth Games will be at VR this time. Like next time, it might be somewhere else. But they have given a special consideration for Daman Diu, Dadra Nagar Haveli, and Diu would be the permanent host city for beach games, Kelo India Beach Games. So, because since we had initiated, normally top-down approach hota hai, but somehow it is a bottom-up approach where we were able to initiate, and because of that, we were able to get the India's first beach games participant. This one. So this would be a permanent host city, Diu, and the impact is enormous, because one is it will that the impact on tourism. Just imagine, for a 5-day event, more than 2,000 participants coming, major dignitaries coming. In fact, in this time, I think LG Pondicherry and LG Andamans were there. Last time it was LG Delhi and LG Ladakh was there. So along with some sports personalities like famous like Commonwealth winners, Indian Olympic medalists. We are inviting them also to be part of our celebration. So it is a closing ceremony. MOS ma'am was there in the closing ceremony. So this would be a permanent venue, and we are very much thankful to the Government of India for giving this opportunity, first time opportunity, and being a and the impact, the social impact and the cultural impact on the local population would be huge. I am sure in next 10-20 years, they would become like the tourism. People would start booking early, saying that in the month of February, there would be a beach games. We want to permanently book the rooms. I am sure in next 10 years, that would be the kind of ecosystem that would develop at the U. And this is one initiative which has which has really taken DU into the limelight and the Indian sports sector. And I'm happy for that. Apart from this, UT administration has initiated, has invested more than 300 crores in our UT for the sports sector. One such thing is the Kelo India Center of Excellence. We are having almost more than 100 students as a residential campus in three different categories like table tennis, athletics, and archery. We have under the bridge a flyover. Under the flyover, we have set up a separate, sports infrastructure which we have set up. So it is like sports along 24 into 7 sports along with this one. And in fact, our UT, we started distributing the sports kit, football kit, volleyball kit, and cricket kit to all the villages. We have identified some of the players, we have mapped the assets, and we gave them these free kits. So these are, and we have a stadium also at Saili at DN at Silvassa. So there are some good infrastructure that are coming up. I am sure in coming years, our territory would be one of the not only in hosting the beach games and permanent seat of Kelo India beach games, but also in medals and others also will definitely we might come forward. And my request to the members here is consider I personally invite you for the next beach in Kelo India beach games, which will be at the U. Probably date is not yet been fixed. Probably it might be in the month of Jan, February, considering the weather and other conditions. So I invite each one of you to the to to our event. And Diu is a beautiful place. You have Blue Flag Beach. You have a Portuguese culture and this one, and it is very near to Dwarka, Somnath, Gir Forest. If someone is religious or interested in wildlife, they can just club this visit and visit this part of the country. And also I would request if someone would be really interested to sponsor our event in the next time, we would be happy to put your names or put the names of the enterprise like last time we did for Torrent and Polycab and Belosa Reliance. So others also we would be happy to work with you people and take it forward. And thank you so much for this opportunity. I think I should not take much of your time. You would have other discussions that would happen. And thank for this opportunity. And I invite you to my territory, Dadra Nagar Haveli, Daman Diu. So it's very near to Mumbai, hardly 2 hours, 3 hours journey from Mumbai. If anyone is coming, please just send a message to us. We'll happy to host you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arun, talking about what all you are doing. And it's very heartening to hear how much the emphasis you are putting on sports and fitness, how it's a priority, and the Khelo India Games and the beach games, how you have turned it around. With your permission, if it's okay, may I open it up to the members in case they have any questions to or anything, interjections to make, please. Members, if you have
I am
any.
KK Gupta here. Madam, I can say something.
Yes, yes, please, Mr. Gupta.
So I really happy Dr. Arun had taken so much steps in Daman. It's a very small place. I think it is UT, where he is spending more than 300 crore rupees for the sports. And this is also heartening to know that the kits are being given to a villagers. I think it is a unique step which he is taking at that Daman place. So then he requested or January and I am not knowing what the Zero games. How he is a one sponsor from the first time. I think in India such game was sponsored in Daman. So if he can explain something about the Zero game, what type of game is there, whether it is also possible to do it in Bombay or Delhi. Something can be done for that. Or it is only a Daman they can play it. I'm not aware. So just I want to know from him. Again, whatever he had done, Dr. Arun, I think it is a heartening to know such steps he is taking in a small place. I must congratulate him and his government also. Thank you very
Yeah.
much, Mr. Arun.
Yeah, thank you. So number one about your comments about the distribution of kits to the villagers. So we have identified all our Gram Panchayat wards and all. Normally, what happens is people say, for example, the sports kit would all. I'm sure all of us would have played cricket. What we will do, we'll put money 5 rupees to 2 rupees and buy a ball, and the wickets would be the sticks, and we used to play. That's how all the middle class would have grown like that. So normally fund is a constraint for people, and especially at a village level, fund is definitely a constraint, because even if you take a simple football, it's very difficult. Even cricket also they have to spend. So we thought just to promote, and the best part is how we identified these people is the best part. We have gone to each and every panchayat, we have identified, we had spoken with the people, with the PT teacher, with the school teachers, who are the good, because we don't want that to get wasted. At matlab we kisi ko de diya, we have given to some people, and finally they have taken away to their home, and it's not a private property, it's a government property. Every day they come, like as you have for libraries, they take the book and read and return back. Same way we also made a mechanism at the ground level, that as a entire village should play, entire student should play. And especially this is more relevant in this digital era where most of us are spending time in the on the mobile screens. So this is one thing which got our wide appreciation in the local level, at the grassroots level. Second question about the beach games. Basically beach games, Kelo India beach games should happen only on the beaches. In fact, the same beach soccer is different from normal soccer. The beach volleyball is different from normal volleyball. In a normal volleyball, 6 people will be there, but in a beach volleyball, only 3 people will be there. These are played on the beaches. So there is always a fun in being at beach. In addition, playing at beach itself is another level of fun, and just viewing them itself is another level of entertainment. So this should only happen at the beach levels. So in fact, if you see, India has a very long coastline, almost 7,500 kilometers of coastline, mainland coastline is there. There are more than 14 states, union territories, which are sharing the beaches. But still, no state had initiated. We initiated it. A small place, Diu, with Malab Daman, Diu, and DNH, and it was recognized by Government of India. It was part of Honorable Prime Minister's Man Ki Baat. I don't know whether if you could share the, we could have share the video also. आपके पास हो तो we could have share है अभी है we could have shared, and it can be displayed in the this people could have
Well,
seen. Prime
very
Minister,
nice. Very nice.
we will send the WhatsApp copy to you, so that it can be displayed. It can be the video can be played in the, so that other members can also view that. This was last year's Man Ki Baat when we initiated first. So this was recognized by none other than Honorable Prime Minister in his Man Ki Baat, and then the idea of Government of India took an idea, and they started the Kelo India Beach Games. So more or less 2,000 athletes came and participants came, and we were able to do it. So we also factored like food festival, cultural nights, kite festival, yoga day, yoga on the beach every day. So these were in addition. These are all value addition to the main is the sports event, because there are many participants from across India. I think 32 states, union territories participated. A lot of visitors would be there, tourists would be there. So we thought we'll entertain them with some cultural evenings, some food festival. So these were also added later.
Excellent,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Excellent. Excellent.
वो वीडियो हो तो भेज दो हाँ if it could be played. Any other questions from any other members? Would be happy to answer.
Any suggestions from your side for the Bombay, because we also so many beach to your state government for the Bombay to they can also do it here.
Yeah, please, I welcome. Whoever is in Mumbai can just come to our Daman. Diu is somewhere else in the, it is in the Saurashtra region, but here you can definitely Daman and Silvassa you can visit. Thank you. Can we share the video if just for the
If possible, 5 or 10 minutes, 5 minutes. Okay.
yeah, just 2 minutes. Man ki
Yes,
baat,
please.
5 minutes.
We have given the
Please,
right.
please.
Yeah.
So we must know
Yeah,
such a good work which you are doing.
मन की बात का है ना ये मन की बात का पहले डालो ना, because we should not waste others time. मन की बात का डाल दो. मिला?
ऐसा ही एक प्लेटफॉर्म बना है,
भेज दिया. क्या is it visible? Share
Visible,
करो.
visible, visible. No voice, but
Sound डालो.
Sir, you have to stop sharing the screen, and then when you are sharing the screen, there is an option on the left hand side, audio settings or share audio as well. Then the audio will come. Otherwise, it will not come on Zoom.
हम ऐसा ही एक प्लेटफॉर्म बना है
अभी हो गया.
बीच गेम्स का, जो दीव के
ऑडियो आ रहा
अंदर
है?
उसका
हाँ जी.
आयोजन हुआ था. आप जानते ही हो, दीव केंद्र शासित प्रदेश है,
Audio is
सोमनाथ
coming,
के
right?
बिल्कुल पास है.
Yes, please.
इस
Yes,
साल की
please.
शुरुआत में ही दीव में इन बीच गेम्स का आयोजन किया गया. ये भारत का पहला मल्टी स्पोर्ट्स बीच गेम्स था. इनमें टग ऑफ वॉर, सी स्विमिंग, पेंचक सिलेट, मलखम, बीच वॉलीबॉल, बीच कबड्डी, बीच सॉकर और बीच बॉक्सिंग जैसे कंपटीशन हुए. इनमें हर प्रतियोगी को अपनी प्रतिभा दिखाने का भरपूर मौका मिला. और आपको जानकर हैरानी होगी कि इस टूर्नामेंट में ऐसे राज्यों से भी बहुत से खिलाड़ी आए जिनका दूर दूर तक समंदर से कोई नाता नहीं है. इस टूर्नामेंट में सबसे ज्यादा मेडल भी मध्य प्रदेश ने जीते, जहां कोई सी बीच नहीं है. खेलों के प्रति यही टेम्परामेंट किसी भी देश को स्पोर्ट्स की दुनिया का सरताज बनाता है. मेरे प्यारे देशवासी,
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. I think video was there. Yeah. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, please. Vivek, you want to come in, please?
First of all, thank you so much for sharing this. We were not completely aware of the DU Beach Games. It was fascinating to see this. I think it's wonderful, and I think the Prime Minister's message was very clear that from far and wide people have come, irrespective of their closeness to the shoreline. And that's what we want to see. We had also organized the beach volleyball in Mumbai way back in 1998. So I think it's great, and more power to you. Fantastic to see this clip and to hear you. Thank you so much for sharing this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Arun, for your time. We are very, very grateful. And we will be in touch in case the members have any queries, then I will share your email and other details with them.
Definitely, ma'am. Thank you, and thank you, everyone. Thank you, all the members. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairman, we have
Number you can circulate, Mr. Arun.
हाँ, मैं उनके ऑफिस का number, I will send it to you, Mr. Gupta.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
हाँ. Chairman, we have our next speaker, Mr. Choksi, Mr. Monal Choksi, who has joined us.
Yes, of
He-
course. Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone.
Mr. Choksi, we are delighted that you are with us. He is the Secretary General for the Swimming Federation of India. And I will just take a minute to introduce you to our members. Mr. Choksi is currently serving his second term in this leadership role since first taking charge in 2019. He's a third generation entrepreneur and committed to the sports very much. Mr. Choksi brings a unique blend of business acumen and deep-rooted passion for swimming, shaped by 18 years of active involvement as a parent to a national level swimmer. Under his stewardship, SFI has launched several forward-looking initiatives aimed at strengthening the ecosystem of Indian aquatics. These include the introduction of a centralized athlete registration and age verification systems, as well as a national coach education and certification framework that emphasizes continuous learning and professional development. Ms. Choksi, it's very heartening to have you amongst us, and our members are here. We would like to hear what you are doing and how we can further collaborate with you, please. Thank you for giving us this time.
Thank you, ma'am, and good evening to everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Sportscom for inviting me today for a dialogue with this eminent group of people. Well, I shall jump into our conversation. And by conversation, I hope that we can make it a dialogue and not a monologue, because I can see that there are a lot of people here who have been engaged or involved with the various sports, and particularly swimming also in some spheres, be it academies or having been participants. I see Hakeem here, so etc. I also hope to take away some valuable thoughts from this forum, while I leave you with some insights as to what I am thinking in my current role and what we are doing presently with this sport. In the last 5 years as Secretary of the Federation, I honestly share that I've been posed this question much too many times, and that is why Indian swimmers have not excelled or performed at the world stage, or why do we not have any major international medal in this particular sport? And this question has been posed in many different forms. I'm sure some of you would also have thought about asking this question. And basically, I don't claim to offer the answer here, but I shall certainly like to share my thoughts on why this has been the situation in this sport so far. As you all would probably know, or at least people who have been associated with this sport for some time would know, that we have had examples of very talented swimmers in the past and in the present also. We may all, or at least those of us in power or in the situation where we manage the sport, would like to say that Indian swimming is progressing well, because there are new records being established in the senior and junior categories. But when we see this in context to the global situation or international medals, which is our ultimate goal, the gap is huge. And therefore, I would say that though we may be progress in terms of individual swimmers doing well, but as a community, as a fraternity, what if our ultimate idea is to be standing tall at the podium in a major international event like World Championships, Olympics, etc., there is much to be done. And that's where I would like to, talk about, because in my opinion, the root cause of the problem, or possibly the solution, is partly systemic and partly cultural. Before I jump into this, I would ask Yash. I had some images which I thought let me share with the forum today. So if Yash is around and he could just briefly flash some of these images, which are these are not from the past, these are current. This is the present tense. This is how a large part of our India, most of our states, uh, expose our kids to the aquatic ecosystem. And of course, there is good infrastructure in many, many centers. But these are images from Assam, Jharkhand, Bihar, large parts of Uttar Pradesh, large parts of Haryana do not have access to quality infrastructure as well as quality coaching. Now, when we engage with a lot of people inside, we talk to our brethren in the state associations. There are many and more reasons for what is happening, but the bare reality is that this is how a lot of our kids are learning how to play water polo or learning how to swim, and that is where we need to address, and we are trying our best to talk to the state governments, stakeholders who can help us with correct this situation. And why does this situation needs to be corrected? Because presently, whatever performances we are seeing in the sport, in the junior or senior category, are coming from tier 1, tier 2 cities. I have always been saying wherever I get an opportunity that the Neeraj Chopra moment in swimming will only come if we can engage with the rural or the non-urban swimmers or children who are willing to take up the sport. And it's not purely about taking the sport. Of course, it's recreational, it's a life-saving skill. But when we talk of competitive swimming, we have to identify swimmers in the younger age category of 6 to 9 years. We have to be able to scout them with the principles of sports science. We have to, after scouting talent, have the possibility of incubating that talent, because once you identify a talent, you have to be able to, incubate them in their home or near to home ecosystems. That is where the role of the state governments or other stakeholders in any particular state come into play, where we are able to house these children and take them through a structured training program. Why I am saying all this also, I will come to that, because there are certain problems that are intrinsic to the top swimmers in the current state of affairs or in the recent past, is that the capacities that can be built at younger age, only at younger age, pre-pubertal, post-pubertal, are not being developed in the right way. In many ways, swimming is like walking, or a person will gain a particular type of gait at a very young age, and that does not change too much. So similarly, buoyancy, balance, technique are things, and endurance, basic foundations that can be built on at later ages in high performance academies. But if we don't address the foundation correctly, the swimmers who come into the high performance academies are have a limited scope of moving forward, at least to the top level. So this is one very, very important requirement that we are trying to address. We have already worked with the giant group of institutions to do a pilot of almost 2,000 children using certain basic principles of science on anthropometry and other tests, out of which we've been able to cull roughly about 230 children in the 6 to 9 year age who are best suited to be trained for elite level. Not necessarily all of them will eventually evolve into our top swimmers, but at least they have a higher chance if we were to, use this methodology and use all our stakeholders' resources to scale this up to a large extent. When I say cultural, it is also something where I refer to a recent article by Martin Owen's interview was done with the athletics coach, where he has been reported to have quoted that the tendency of Indians is to measure progress in medals. We have been trying to, for the last 1.5 years, educate parents and swimmers in the junior categories that it is more about the times that you are clocking and continuing to improve to stay on track, because the elite performance age in swimming is between 20 to 26. None of our 20 to 26-year-olds are in that position to be able to stand on the podium at the Olympic Games. That is a bare reality. The faster we accept that, that is better for us. And therefore, the entire focus of the Swimming Federation of India is to work on the age range between current 12 to 17, and also start a initiative where we are able to build the base through the grassroots program, through the talent development program. So the mindset of the current parent is to, early age medals and early age gratification is something which is hurting this sport the most, in my opinion. Probably it could be the same in other sports, but since I'm fairly familiar with what is happening in our sport, we are of the strong opinion that this eventually leads into a situation where the kids are under so much pressure from parent, the coach, whose livelihood depends on the kid earning medals so that he can get more swimmers into his system. We are trying to move away from that by introducing a program which is called the National Talent Pool Development Program. This is aimed at only 12 to 17-year-olds who have, and even more 12 to 15, but 15 to 17 is also an age category which we cannot ignore for the immediate 2030 and 2028. And therefore, our idea is that through a regular mentoring of the home coaches and bringing these kids into specific exposures with the help of the SAI and various budgets available to us, to tune these kids and their parents into a long-term mindset where the 12th standard or the college or foreign education is not a priority. And all that is a reality for us because the sport is very urban. If we are able to bring in more and more talented rural kids into the program, probably that problem would be lesser of importance or less critical for long-term performance of the sport. So these are areas that we are working on, which is basically the National Talent Pool Development Program and the raw talent scouting, and then bringing them into a structured system. That is our main focus. Of course, we continue to support our elite swimmers for their various exposures or competitions, but that is probably not the reason for our existence. If at all we have to develop something in the sport, this is where we are going to be as far as swimming goes. We have also been engaging with the authorities on giving due importance to water polo. Water polo is a discipline in which India has not participated at the Asian Games for the last 30 years. We've been, for the last 2 years, making an attempt with the authorities to at least include water polo in the Khelo India Youth Games program. We already decided 2 years back, in fact, 3 years back, to split water polo championship into a separate national championship. Because what used to happen is that when it was clubbed with the swimming championships, the morning and evening swimming events left very little time for participation or more teams participating in water polo in both junior and senior category because of the paucity of time. When we decided to split this into a separate championship, we immediately saw a double jump in the states participating in water polo. And now we have almost 50% of our member federation, state associations participating at junior as well as senior championships in water polo. But that is very little because Indian water polo is stuck in the mid 80s. Our coaches are from the mid 80s. If we were to give enough importance to water polo, it is a low hanging fruit for us at least at the Asian Games level. Given 2 cycles, we could definitely be in the top 5. And that is why we have to focus on junior water polo. And we have started a junior water polo inter-club championship. So many competition initiatives are being taken. Once again, moving back to swimming, certain steps that we have taken, which are also aimed at the long term, is to remove the sprint events from the junior categories. Because on international advice, people who are working from USA Swimming, British Swimming with us, we also have a very experienced program director who is full-time employed and has worked with British Swimming for almost 13 years now, fully operational in India, guiding various programs across the country. The idea is that at 13 or 15 years, you do not develop the strength to be a sprinter. What you really need to develop is endurance and technique. And therefore, their entire focus of coaches and parents on winning 50-meter or sprint event, we have removed these events from our junior championships in the lowest category championship. We've also reduced the participation age from which was earlier 9-10, we progressively moved to 10-11, and now it is 11-12. So for a national championship. The reason is to prevent burnout. This is the biggest problem in India, which where we have very young swimmers, 17, 18, 19, either burning out or getting into injuries. These are areas that we are working through structural changes in the competition and education and awareness of parents and coaches. Another area where we are strongly focusing, which ma'am mentioned in the introduction also, is that we have a master trainer who from World Aquatics who has started the certification program for coaches. Because the prevailing system of coach certification, which was run by the ASCA, which is the American Swim Coaches Certification Program, is more geared towards earning money by giving certificates or running a program. It was not run by the federation, but it was being run by private entities. We have, with the help of World Aquatics, set up a level 1 and level 2 certification program, and we are mandating that all coaches go through it. It is a completely change curriculum and run in a hybrid and physical hybrid format, being online and offline. And we are able to put in place a new thinking into how training and coaching should be done. Once again, the traction is coming from all the younger coaches. We are facing serious resistance from coaches who've been around and been doing the same thing for many, many years. But I'm sure that with the continued push on the coach education and relearning, and the biggest important point that I would like to mention is it is not one course where you go for 4 days and you learn and come and get a certificate. It is a continuous learning platform where there is a continuous mentoring by the program director of each and every coach. They have access to him at any point in time, and whenever they face problems, they are able to access the program director to be able to address their real-time, real-day problems. So the coach education program is not just a certification, but it is a learning pathway. And that is, I think, delivering very good results, because we are seeing some really good changes coming in the junior performances of the coaches who have gone through this program and their swimmers. So having, kind of given you a little bit of a canvas on what we are doing, I don't want to make this a monologue. I'm happy to, engage with the audience and would like to, answer specific questions, which I'm sure a lot of you have on the topic.
Thank you so much, Mr. Choksi.
Thank you, Vivekji.
Yes, Hakeem would like to, of course, speak, and he's been with us for a long time. But I can imagine what the struggle must be at your end. We have so much potential here, and yet the correct technical guidance and the scientific training, whether at the coach level, whether at the candidate level, is still a long way to go. It must be very challenging in your job. I can completely understand, Mr. Chokshi. And there is such a potential for medals. Just one thing before Hakeem and others step in. You mentioned that gratification in the earlier years in terms of medals, certificates. You're not a great advocate of that. And I understand, because people chase medals and not times. People chase certificates and not benchmarking themselves against international But don't you think that at least it keeps them invested in the sport, the young? It keeps them coming back to the pool. And, if we do not have that gratification, do you feel that they would be better challenged and look to really set their eyes higher than just on medals and certificates?
No, you have hit
Very
the
powerful statement you made there. A very powerful
no,
statement
I
that I've not
know, and
thought.
you have also hit the sweet spot there, because it's a good balance between I'm not disagreeing that medals are not necessary, and medals should not be a form of gratification or certification. Uh, Everything comes at the right age. And in younger ages, if we follow systems which are followed by more developed swimming nations also, there are, instead of medals, there are other forms of gratification and performance, self gratification, or for parents to kind of feel proud about. So, what we are trying to do is move away from a system which merely looks at medals at a very young age. And that also is something we are talking about only for the very, very young swimmers, where with one or two medals, you start feeling you are the India's best and the gift to India and for the future Olympic prospect. That is good to feel that. But at the same time, it limits your capacity to think bigger, to monitor your own progress. Another thing, what we are also finding is with not saying from the gratification point of view, but from a coaching point of view. What is happening is that coaches are self-entrepreneurs in most cases, or very rarely nowadays we are seeing coaches who are getting a salary, and therefore for them, bringing food to the table is not important. The performance of the swimmer and continued performance is important. In most cases, academies which employ these coaches also, and parents particularly, what happens is that a coach who swimmer is bringing in a medal at 8 or 9 or 10 years old or 12-year-old will find parents flocking to them because that coach is delivering results. Whereas coaches who are really working on the long-term athlete development uh, lose out. And that is what we need, coaches who should work on the more long-term development rather than the immediate gratification at earlier ages. So those coaches lose out against the coaches who bring in the medals by over-tiring, over-burning, over-training the kids. So they are trying to strike a balance over there through education. So we are not taking away medals. Our championship kids still get medals and certificates, but we cannot only measure. And one very, very classic incident which I have to share, which our program director, who is currently working in India, I mentioned a chap called Chris Martin. He made a very interesting observation that you see any report on Indian swimming in any newspaper or anywhere on social media, etc. It will only mention so and so one gold, so and so won 5 golds or 3 golds, 2 silvers, or the event in which they won, but none of these will ever mention a time. Nowadays, we started seeing a situation where the performance is mentioned along with the time that you have achieved. So the focus on the time is most crucial, and that's what we are trying to emphasize. I hope I kind of was able
Appreciate
to.
it.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Hakeem had raised his hand. My friend Hakeem had raised his hand. Would
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here, Vivek. Again, Monal, thank you for listing out a set of things. I just, Monal and I, we chat a lot. So I just wanted to quickly add a few more things to, for the members' reference. For example, swimming, many may or may not know that has the highest number of medals at the Olympic Games. So now in LA 2028, there are going to be 55 gold medals that are going to be which are part of what SFI, or the Swimming Federation of India, looks into. So in the pool itself, there are going to be 41 gold medals. So when you put things in context, athletics only comes second to swimming at 48 gold medals. So in terms of why India needs to urgently prioritize swimming is, there's a big bucket of medals directly to be tapped into. I just want to add that, again, the other part, what Monal said, until Monal came in, swimming never really had a database. They didn't have a database of swimmers. They did not have a database of coaches. Today, with the work that's gone in, swimming today has a set of registered athletes, has registered coaches, and all the work that Monal has indicated is now developing on the basis of that number. And where one of the roles I'm currently playing is, with Mirtha pools, Mehta Pools is, a partner with the Swimming Federation of India, and again motivated by the continuous work. So while Monal has indicated it's a big task and there are many things to address, I commend the work that has happened so far, and it's setting a strong foundation for swimming to grow in this country. And while a few corporates have started coming in, like JSW, Glenmark, have started coming in and investing in swimming, it would be my request to some of the members here to see how we can have more corporate participation supporting the growth of swimming as it's getting more professional, and with Monal setting systems in place to accelerate the growth of swimming. That's just a personal request, and Monal might even indicate, we're going to have a big event coming up soon in Ahmedabad, which is the Asian Swimming Championships. So I'll leave that to Monal to maybe share more.
Yeah, so the international meets in India have been very few. And 2019, which was the first year for me, we hosted the Asian Age Group Championships, which is basically all the disciplines of aquatics, swimming, diving, water polo, artistic swimming across the junior as well as the senior age categories. It's not an elite level competition, but it's still a very, very high competition of high repute. This year, we are again happy to share that we are hosting the 11th Asian Aquatics Championship. And Hakim, interestingly, it was still called till the 2016 edition, it was still called the Asian Swimming Championship, though it had all the disciplines of aquatics. So it was the first time that we, told Asia Aquatics that you please relabel this competition as Asian Aquatics Championship. So though it's the 11th edition of this championship, it is the first time it's going to be labeled as the Asian Aquatics Championship, which is the open age group category. And of course, all 40 countries will be participating in water polo, diving, artistic, and swimming events. This event is happening at the newly constructed, again, it's a beautiful venue, Mirta venue, Mirta Pools venue. Hakim's part of that. But it's an indoor facility, second indoor facility, newly constructed after the Kalinga Aquatics Complex in Bhubaneswar. And the problem here also is, again, we have enough and more resources, but when we are building new infrastructure, we still are thinking small because we didn't have a warm-up pool. And when we had to do a major international event, you cannot have a facility which does not have a warm-up pool. Fortunately, the government of Gujarat, with the vision towards 2036, pulled out all the stops, and they agreed to, crash build a warm-up pool, at least if not a 50-meter or 25-meter pool, which is coming up and will be ready in time for the championship. So international events are a great opportunity for exposure because the home crowd is able to access, but the seating capacities at these venues are always a compromise, and we have very less opportunity to get the general public or crowd into the avenues and make the sport very popular. But thankfully now, with the social media, the YouTube, live streaming and broadcast support, etc., I hope that this event is going to be not only a success, which it will be, but at least it will be visible and will have a larger following across the various platforms we are going to broadcast it on. Again, an incident around that, which I have no problem sharing, because within the federation and at many other places when we discuss ministry, SAI, etc., though the championship is being hosted in India, I keep being told, India ka medal position kya hoga? And I have to very, very bluntly tell our people that do not expect medals, though you are the hosts. This is a fast senior open category event, and Asia is improving like nobody's business. We will have definitely our good swimmers in the finals. If we get a medal, we should be very, very lucky. But it's sad. I feel that with an effort of 5 years, where 2 years were lost in COVID, so my personal I would say regret is that I had to lose 2 years in my functioning tenure to COVID, but we've tried to do and continue to do as much as we can to focus on our junior programs, because that is the only place where we're going to be able to see something coming through. Once again, when Hakim mentioned the number of medals at LA, I'd like to share with the forum that has come from the 50-meter events being added in the form strokes. 50-meter event was always there in the freestyle, but the backstroke, breaststroke, and butterfly 50-meter events were added to the Olympic events list, and that in men and women category has increased the number of medals available, gold or silver or bronze. Instantly, people are jumping at us saying, see, we told you, you removed the 50-meter events from our competition at junior level. Now what will happen? See, there is nobody who's wanting to understand that we have removed them from junior events. And that is because there can be no junior 50-meter sprinter. Somebody who's sprinting at 50-meter event or training only for 50-meter events at age 10 or 12, Hakim can confirm, will never reach the Olympics. No hope in hell. They have to be training for the 200, 400, 800 or middle distance events. And that is exactly what we are trying to structure. But put the message out is so much more difficult, because with limited resources, through whatever campaigns we can run, to whatever groups we can engage during our national championship, is what we do to pass out the message. Coaches have to be able to pass out this message. And for that, the coaches have to be educated and convinced, so that they are able to tell the parents that, look, what is being done is the right thing. And that is the only way, you have the only road that can lead to the Olympic podium. I apologize for sounding very strong and have very strong views on this, but I am very firmly entrenched in my thoughts on the way this can be done.
That's very interesting, Mr. Choksi. Thank you for that. Is there anybody else who would like to engage with Mr. Choksi? We have a rare opportunity of having him here. Yes, please go ahead.
Good,
Prasanna, yes,
good evening, first of all. Yeah, good evening, and thank you so much, Monalji, for elaborating about the present and future of swimming. First of all, I must congratulate. We have been working on anti-doping across federations, and when I was just going through your website yesterday, I saw the tab of anti-doping. I think you are the only federation which is having that kind of awareness programs on your website. Just to add, as a Sportscom, we have been working on doping control in nutrition supplements. We are creating a policy along with Sports Ministry, NADA, and FSSI. We are also creating a sports-specific supplement policies with regards to that specific sports. So we'll be more than happy to be working with you and with Hakim, to elaborate these and to reach to the grassroots level where they should understand that what should not be consumed and what should be consumed in the right way, if at all it has to be. And we can create a policy for federation as a whole. So that's what we can do with you, sir, with your due permission.
No, we would be more than happy to engage with you, and please do reach out to us, because apart from what the website is one medium, but it's only for those people who go to the website. And then the second level of engagement is when we have our national championships. So we actively ask NADA to propagate and run their doping awareness or anti-doping education program at our national championships, junior and senior, etc. In fact, somewhere I think somebody is doing an excellent job, because till the current year, the doping awareness programs which NADA used to run at our national championships were very, very boring, dead PPTs. And I gave my feedback on that. and we have a huge challenge in getting the parents, particularly or coaches, to stay back to see the programs during national championships. They have finished their morning sessions, they have to go get breakfast, get their rest, and uh, somebody probably somewhere must have thought, or probably that feedback and other feedbacks. But this year at our championship, I saw that NADA has produced some beautiful audiovisual content which we can continuously run during the championship, with very nice images, very nice explanations, animations. And because we have LED, large LED screens at our venues, these can be run on a continuous basis. So you don't really need to stay back for an anti-doping lecture. You are, while you're sitting at the venue watching the competitions, you are able to see, and it's quality production. So I must compliment NADA for having, changed to the modern way of communicating. And with your organization or whosoever would like to help us with this, because I believe most of the cases in the junior programs are doping by ignorance. In the senior, it could be by intent, but in junior programs, it is either just the pressure or ignorance, or some coach trying to prove something. And I don't, kind of would give a clean sheet to parents also, because we have seen a 12-year-old girl swimmer banned for doping violation, and that was a shocker.
So certainly, as you rightly said, we'll like to work with association and then connected offline thereafter. Let's see how we can progress. Thank you.
Yeah, we can. Hi, can I speak?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
please go ahead.
Srishti.
Yes, sir. Sir, we would love to work on developing the content on the same. I mean, just to let you know what we exactly do, we are a sports education platform where we help people make allied careers in sports. We help people become sports commentators, sports journalists, sports scientists, sports analysts. Even we have one student who has actually made it to swimming analytics as well in one of the startups, and there are a couple of more are joining there. So we train them and we help them with the placements. So we have our own content team which develop it, and we are a 6-year-old company now. A lot of companies have hired from us, from ESPN to Delhi Capital to Rajasthan Royal, and also the federations. So we would love to do that. I would request, I will actually be in touch with ma'am to be in touch with you.
Certainly. Since I'm in the middle of a very eminent forum, and I see Jaladji also sitting there, and there's a small thought which I have been, contemplating, and we've been wanting to, because see, as I mentioned earlier, you have current situation till we change that and address that, and we start getting a lot of rural swimmers from rural backgrounds, or backgrounds where the aspirations are not towards a very high degree of education. I mean, all other forms of education are good, and today there are so many career opportunities that exist. But in the past, it has been, and in Hakim's case, also probably the drive towards either getting into the engineering college or the medical college, etc., defeat our efforts. So even when we are running this national talent pool program, it is something between the TOPS program and the Khelo India program, where our benchmarks are very, very stringent compared to, an age-specific benchmarks compared to global standards. But we want the athletes to continue to progress on that track. So we are mentoring the parent, we are mentoring the athlete, we are mentoring the coach to whatever extent possible. Somewhere we are not in a position to offer them anything specific by saying, okay, you are a national talent pool athlete, you are an asset for the nation, we want you to continue to with your sport, and therefore we bring to the table something which is different than just 10,000 OPA that a Khelo India athlete gets, or some training bonuses and monies that they get. What we believe is that not all kids want to go into engineering or medical or those kind of things, but they still aspire, and parents think that what after the sport? This is not cricket. So if we can engage with the corporate world, where we are already talking to educational institutions. A lot of these colleges have started approaching us, like MET, Jain, Punjab University, etc., who are offering full paid scholarship. And our ask is only one thing. With Jain also, for the school program, what we have said that, okay, you create a development center, you have the infrastructure, you employ the coach, and we will help that coach train the swimmer correctly. But 5 swimmers that we recommend are coming from those backgrounds where they cannot afford something, you support them. So those schools are now coming on board to support them with a full scholarship. Similarly, there are colleges which are offering this program. If we can find corporates who are willing to offer them internships post-graduation, if they perform, see, okay, there are colleges where you can go through a BBA or a Bachelor of Commerce or a other kind of education. But after that, what? Where is the job? Not everybody wants to go to the railway or income tax or police or service. At least today's time, the swimmers who are coming from urban backgrounds, their parents are all coming from a background where they don't aspire their kids to go into railways or services. So if corporates can offer, these are smart kids. Corporates could give them internships maybe for 1 year and absorb them if they are good. Otherwise, fine, a good letter of commendation for work done also would be a huge bonus where we can say, okay, we are getting you an internship in a good corporate. If you are part of the National Talent Pool program and you continue improving through your school and college years. So it's a thought I would like to leave behind for the eminent panel. If they can, help us bring this one more value to the National Talent Pool program, it would be a huge bonus for us.
Thank you, Monal bhai. We'll keep that in mind.
Thank you, Tanisab. Tanisab, one more thing. I had also reached out to the Geo Foundation, and I know that you are connected with a lot of, your foundation is connected to large numbers of schools across India. And we would be happy to discuss and present a plan for the raw talent scouting program, which I'm talking about.
Sure, I'll talk to Siddharth. Thank you.
Right. So, gentlemen, that was really nice engaging with you. I'm happy to stay on the call if you need to have more questions or would like to discuss anything more.
Anybody has any other questions for Mr. Choksi? I think that was very, very enlightening for us to hear the challenges he's facing and also the fact there's so much potential. Is there anybody else who would like to ask any questions? This is the opportune time. Choksi, thank you so much for sharing this with us. And you got big challenges and big opportunities together. Thank you so much for interacting with us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you to the panel, all the members here. And once again, thanks for inviting me to, present my thoughts. I hope that I did leave some kind of an impact behind and that we'll have more supporters for the sport in the coming years.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening to all of you.
Good evening.